What's up, guys? Welcome to Self Care in Christ. I go by the name Shahata, and this is my channel. It's Shahata. I create faith-based content, self-care-based content, vlogs, and motivation-based content. And if you like any of those, pretty please like, comment, and subscribe. So today we are talking about conflicts and what they do to our minds. Remember, your self-care is inflicted in your mind. Your self-care starts in your mind and then it goes to your body. So with all that said, and without further ado, let us get straight into the video. The environment you're in plays a huge role in your self-care. Ongoing tension can result in feelings of being on edge, overwhelmed, and emotionally drained, which directly undermines well-being and makes constructive self-care practices harder to maintain. So, what do conflicts and chaos do to my self-care? Number one, increased stress and exhaustion. Conflicts can leave you feeling constantly on edge, feeling vulnerable, and emotionally drained, consuming your time and attention. So, when you have negative friends or you are in a very, very toxic relationship with your partner, that could result into an increased stress and exhaustion. Most of the time, you will find out the moment that you leave the house, you feel better than the moment you know that you're coming back into the house. Why? Because you know that you have conflicts. You know that you're expecting a certain type of conflict that comes from that certain person. It also plays the same role when it comes into your family members. So when you have toxic family members that are always starting up conflicts, there is no time to sit down. There is no time to enjoy. Instead, there's always words after words, fights after fights. You live under a situation where you have to understand that wherever you are going to a situation that is filled with a lot of conflict. That makes you exhausted. As a child of God, it messes up your self-care because you have no time to focus on yourself when you know that you're going to conflicts. You're going to sit in an environment where a conflict will be started. So when those certain fights come up, you barely focus on yourself. It's either you're trying to stop the fights or it's either you are thinking about it most of the time that you end up forgetting yourself. The second one is self-worth. Experiencing conflicts can make you doubt yourself, feel vulnerable or ashamed, and damage your self-esteem, especially if trust is broken or there is humiliation. When you find that you live in an environment where you mostly feel humiliated every second of the day, there are certain type of words exchanged and words that you receive in your ears that make you lose your self-esteem. It goes the same when you live in situations where there are friends who are always demotivating you, friends who are always fighting and then taking their fights and putting them on you. Because in this relationship, in this friendship, it looks like you are the one who can actually fix the conflicts. If you said something once and then you become an enemy to the both of these people, you are bound to lose yourself when you are in places where you are the one who has to make the decision unnecessarily. You are the one who always brings the friends together. You are the one who always tries to make sure there is peace around. You will eventually forget about yourself. When it comes to humiliation, your self-worth will always go down. Why? Because these people who are humiliating you, they know very well how crucial it is for you to take care of yourself at the moment. How crucial it is for you to mostly focus on yourself in moments like that. So most of the time you'll find out the relationship you are in is filled with cheating. The relationship you are in is filled with words that you always receive each and every day, where you are told you are ugly, where you are told you don't look clean, where you are told you don't smell fresh, where you are told that this is not you, this is not the you that I know. Whereas people change with time. Each and everything that partner says, to you it will look like it's the truth, which is wrong. So, most of the time, when you are living in situations where your self worth is compromised, you will feel ashamed, not only of your situation, but also of yourself. Why? Because the environment you are sitting on is playing a huge role on your self care. The third one is impaired decision making. Strong emotional states during conflict can cloud your judgment, making it difficult to think clearly and make wise choices. Your self care is compromised when you start helping someone else make decisions, especially when they are putting you in the middle of a family conflict. Now you also have friends who are always fighting and you are just in the middle of it. And they always expect you to fix it. They always expect you to choose a side. Think about it. When are you going to take the decision to take care of yourself when you are always trying to bring the group together, when you're always trying to fix everything in the group? Think about it. When will you have the time to focus on yourself? When you go to sleep, you start to think about what decision you had to take for that relationship, for that friendship to go forward. Your self-care is compromised. You compromising your self-care over people who do not even care about you. Let us talk about why is self-care vital during conflict. Self-care in general, why is it vital during conflict? Number one, counteracting negative effect. So practicing self-care is crucial for taking care of your needs and well-being during conflict, which is not selfish but essential for managing challenges. The moment you sense a conflict, the moment you see that something is about to start, you start moving out. You start leaving the environment they are in. You are not being selfish. Whenever they start a fight, whenever they start to fight for themselves or by themselves, and they put you as part of it, and you say, I enter no way. I don't know. I enter no way because I was not part of this conversation from the beginning. And if you know that you do not have words to say that, but you are under a situation where your self-care is compromised, just leave the environment and go and stay at a place where there is peace. Go to that restaurant, get that one simple plate. Go to Steers, get the cheapest meal and sit down, enjoy by yourself. You are not being selfish. You are just being yourself. You are just focusing on yourself. You are stopping to compromise. You are stopping to focus on people that don't focus on you. And you will notice that the moment you start to leave places like this, the moment you start to reduce yourself or start to stay away from people like this, they won't even remember that you were there. But because you're always there, but because you are easy to work with, you are easy to abuse, then they will start to keep asking you. But because when you are not there, you're deciding to leave them. You are deciding to not care about the situation. You are deciding to let them be. Even if it's your partner that is traumatic, your partner that is creating unnecessary things, you will find that the moment that you realize that, you know what, this is tiring and you cannot leave the relationship, and then you start to go out by yourself, there is a certain type of advice you're going to get from a stranger. And that advice will save you for the rest of your life. So if you sit down and listen to them speaking and listen to them threatening you, listen to them giving you a hard time every time you go back home, every time you sit with them, that will be the moment where you won't get any advice from anyone. But the moment you leave and not looking for advice from family members, but from outsiders, you're going to get the best advice of your life. Because when you are stressed, then your self-care is also compromised. When you are too tired to wash your face, to clean your body, to do a double cleanse, a body wash, to smell good, to feel fresh, then, child of God, you've compromised your self-care. Let us get into the second one, replenishing energy. Self-care practices like good sleep, exercise, and pursuing hobbies help to nourish and replenish your energy, enabling you to better navigate stressful situations. Like I said, you can never be able to navigate stressful situations if you don't find a hobby, if you don't get outside, if you don't get that book and go to a peaceful place and read that book, and make sure that at a moment where your self-care is low, you start reading motivational books, especially when you know you can afford them. Sometimes you don't have to afford them. Just download a YouTube video and be good to go. Go find a certain simple place and sit there and listen to those self-uplifting videos. So when you do a self-care practice like good sleep and you find that they are starting conflicts, they are doing this and that, and all that you need to do is a peaceful sleep, go to a hotel or Airbnb, or you don't even have to do any of that. Just go outside and try to sleep. Yes, you might think about the issues for the first 2 to 3 hours of your sleep, but what matters is that at the end of the day, you're going to eventually sleep for that hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and your time will start to go further. And you'll find that even if your partner is creating a conflict over the phone, and you just switch off your Wi-Fi or your data and just put yourself to sleep. Sometimes you do not need to fix things that are unfixable. Just go to sleep. If those family members are fighting in the group chat because of your so-called name, switch off your Wi-Fi, switch off your data, go to sleep. Exactly. The third one is fostering a healthy mindset. By taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional health, you can maintain a clearer perspective, communicate more constructively, and develop greater emotional resilience. You will find that when there are moments that are filled with conflicts and there are people who are creating or starting fights, and you know that you enter nowhere, your type of communication will be more constructive, and you will find that, hey, I think I need to help these people get to the bottom of this. You will be helping them positively, not in a way that your self-care is compromised, but you will be telling them the truth. You have an issue with this one, you are jealous of this one, you are this of this one, and they have this problem because of this problem and that problem, and you've been like this for months or for years, and this person cannot take it anymore. That is very constructive, and that is the truth. But when you are compromising, you'll be like, I choose this side, I choose this side. But no, with that, you are able to maintain a clearer perspective. You see the right, you see the wrong. You are able to discern, because why? You are focusing on your emotional, mental, and physical health. Nobody wants to compromise their self-care unless they do. If you do not want to compromise your self-care, if you don't want to have your hair falling out and not growing, if you don't want to lose weight, and if you don't want to have a stressful face, a face that looks so stressed, then you have to foster a healthy mindset. Lastly, I want you to listen to this. Constant conflict can diminish your ability to cope with challenges and stay positive, making you less resilient to other life stresses. Constant conflict can diminish your ability to cope with challenges. If you do not leave the life-stressing situation, you can never be able to stay positive. Those people who are in the same household that you are living in, they are creating conflicts because they know that you're going to be part of them. But if ever they start the conflict and you just keep quiet and look at them, if you want, you can smile. If you don't, you can just keep a straight face. Trust me, a certain type of behavior will change. Thank you very much for watching up until the end. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Toodles.